Hey, it's Sam here, and in this video, I'll be taking a look at the Epomaker Galaxy70. It's a 75% wireless keyboard with a powder-coated aluminum case priced around $90. First off, included in the box is the user manual, a Type-A to Type-C USB cable, a switch and keycap puller, extra macOS keycaps, 2 extra switches, and the Galaxy70 keyboard, which is quite heavy, around 1.8 kilograms or 4 pounds due to the aluminum case. So for the design and layout, the keyboard has a 75% layout with a metal volume knob on the top right corner, an RGB indicator light bar here, and a magnetic slot for the 2.4 GHz wireless receiver next to the arrow keys. The case is aluminum and powder coated with this textured finish. I like that it doesn't pick up any smudges or fingerprints and has a really rounded off design on the corners. The front height is 23mm and there's no logos whatsoever here. On the back, there's a cutout for the wireless antenna and the power on-off switch with the Type-C port in the middle. On the bottom, there is 4 silicone non-slip feet and the Epomaker plaque in the middle with some patterns on it. Moving on to the specs and features, the keyboard comes with cherry profile die-sub PBT keycaps that look nice and are quite thick in my opinion. Huano Blossom Odyssey linear switches that come pre-loop and have a poppy sound signature. Plate-mounted stabilizers that have been pre-looped to reduce any rattle with additional dampeners at the spacebar. A gasket-mounted flex-cut polypropylene plate for a soft typing experience. A 5-pin hot swap south-facing PCB that has flex cuts as well. And perky RGB that looks great with 20 preloaded effects to choose from. For the software, it's compatible with the Epomaker driver. Here you are able to set different profiles and remap the keys and functions, set up and import macros, configure the RGB effects, brightness, speed, and color, create your own custom RGB lighting and effects, make the RGB reactive to sound like an audio visualizer, and access other settings like the sleep timer here. Okay, now diving into the disassembly or teardown. The case is held together with 6 screws on the top, and I recommend removing the knob and receiver first before opening up the case. With all of the 6 screws removed, the top case can be lifted, followed by the plate and PCB. Under the PCB, there are 3 cables that need to be disconnected. One is for the wireless antenna, one connects to the daughter board, and the last one is for the knob. Once that's done, the plate and PCB can finally be taken out. So in the bottom case, there's a piece of poron foam and a PET insulation sheet to make the case sound fuller. With the mods removed, you can see the gasket housings and standoffs for the screws on the sides, the 4000 mAh battery on the left which connects to the daughter board in the middle, the wireless antenna mounted here, and the rotary knob on the top right. Speaking about the knob, there's the cutout for it in the top case alongside the RGB indicator strip and 2.4 GHz receiver, which looks like this with a diffuser and some force brake mods on the back. As for the plate and PCB, they are mounted together with 4 screws on the bottom. After the screws are removed, the PCB can be pried away, but I do not recommend that you do this. I'm just removing it like this to show you the mods included. So for the mods, there's a piece of PET insulation sheet, an IXPE switch pad, and a poron plate foam to help dampen the typing noise while making the keyboard sound quite poppy. This is the PCB and it can flex quite a lot due to the flex cuts. And on the back, it has Cal hot swap sockets. The FlexCard polypropylene plate is also very flexible even with the switches and keycaps installed. Besides that, there's these soft and squishy silicone gaskets on the sides that mount to the bottom case like this. All of the mods, flex cards and gaskets combine to produce a soft and responsive typing experience while sounding satisfyingly poppy. With all of that covered, it's time for the typing sound test. Please enjoy. Alright, here are my final thoughts on the Epomaker Galaxy70. After using and reviewing the keyboard, I really like the overall design with the aluminium case and the unusual yet functional 75% layout with a volume knob. There is no screen or gimmick here, which is not an issue in my opinion, as you're getting a more premium feeling and sounding keyboard. The only downside is the $90 price, as at this range there are plenty of options to choose from and this keyboard doesn't really have a standout feature to set it apart. But at the end of the day, if this keyboard fits your budget and you like the design and features, it's definitely a solid choice. So if you're interested in the Epomaker Galaxy70, it will be linked in the description below for you, and that does it for this video. Thanks to Epomaker for the keyboard and thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and remember to subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one.